Hey everyone, it's Wah.
And it's Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, honey, but through our own lens, which, my loves, it could be mid-season of a 90-day fiance, and we're in just two different worlds, honey. It could be a live that we're doing on our Patreon exclusively because we come from a world called YouTube where we like people to watch us at all times, weirdly voyeuristic. And also it could just be, two podcasters and best friends doing our critique, and then hopefully at the end of the critique, there's a moment of sweetness because we're friends. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think all of the above, actually. There is a moment of
Yay.
sweetness because we're friends. But today we're talking about 90 Day Fiance, Before the 90 Days, Season 6, Episode 10, Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One videotape. There's many lies, but there's only one videotape. This episode was good. Right? I need your opinion on this because I always say it's good and you hated it. And I feel like because you're like more on, that SAG after scene, like I feel like I divert all opinions about whether something, at least in the reality sphere, to you. So do you
Oh,
think it was a good episode?
yeah, I definitely do. I really had a great time,
Great, we
like
matched. Great.
yeah, it's a match. Yeah, I really thought it was a great episode. Also, did you ever see that movie Sex Lies and Videotape?
No,
I think
which is
it's a
why I didn't
movie,
know.
right? Uh
S- s-
anyway, okay.
remember when I'm going on a tangent, but I'll bring it right back, okay?
It's okay.
Okay. Remember when we went to me, you, Monique, and maybe Kristen? We went to that bar slash like dance place, and it was on
Employees
Hollywood
only
and maybe Hollywood and La
or
Brea,
adults only?
Hollywood and La Brea,
Adults only, one of those. Yeah.
but
I'm a,
Hollywood and La Brea, and like you go in and there's like something playing on a TV.
yes.
Okay. I was listening to another podcast, and
Hmm.
they started to describe what happened and what was going on, and I was like, oh my god, I had the same experience too. So I just wanted to say that like that happened to me.
Oh. Could have sworn there'd be a little more of a payoff, but what a great way to start the episode. No, I love you so much. You guys, we are so pumped. Listen, we've been doing this podcast for like a whole year. Can you believe it? We've like not really like said it to air, but like that is truthfully it. We like waited a whole week to say it because we were like, that's true, but it's true. We can't even tell you how many episodes we've done, like it's an obscene amount, like, but having said that, it's been,
Vulgar,
yeah,
vulgar
a
amount.
vulgar amount. Um but it's been really so fun for us, and we're so excited, and we're so thankful that anyone listens at all, or anyone, like is into it. So it's just been so awesome. And so, yeah, if you are listening normal style, just know that on Patreon they are listening live as we record this, which is something we've been doing. I don't know how I was going to pretend to say that in the YouTube world of like talking about this and then having people like listen live. But we will not be talking interacting with comments. That'll happen later in our monthly live. Having said that, it was a great episode. Yeah, a lot happened, a lot of like oh shit moments, and
Mhm.
also op moments, like wow. So where do you want to start, my babe?
I mean, let's start at the top. Like there's no reason to hold back. They are at the top of our list. Let's talk about Gino and Jasmine.
Yeah.
Whew. Let's find a picture of them. I mean, one that isn't there.
Yeah. They can start off and like, they're gonna go to a different place that's known for its mountains, a really beautiful place. And he comes out, he's wheeling his luggage and another luggage, and she's wheeling one luggage and has a bag. And then he says he's trying to help her situate it in her hand by telling her how to do it, but she thinks he's just gonna roll it for her, which is just this moment is the epitome of their relationship to me. Okay, well, go ahead. I'm so excited for you because
I'm just agreeing with you. Like
yeah.
this moment, I thought the exact same thing. She thinks it's one thing, and he's like, no, it's less. Like
The less is God, it's yeah.
because Chris, he
Yeah.
could have given her the little stupid thing that he was carrying, while he two-hand on the bigger one. Like you just put them back to back, make sure the handles are there, and he, as the man, carry the heavier things. I
Yep.
just my brother would carry my brother, my little brother, my baby brother
Who's an
would
adult. I just want, I mean, I don't want people to think that like for some reason you are as a, even, you know, this is, okay.
that
Yeah.
I'm
He's not like
somehow doing some kind of weird child labor things. Like I have this child. Yeah,
a
no.
Benjamin Button's
Yeah.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so my little brother would do it. My 37-year-old little brother would be like, why am I stop it? Like, I don't know.
Now, here's something that's very interesting about that. That moment takes a couple of things. I'll tell you what it takes. Instinctually in the moment is a problem-solving mentality of how can I do that and how can I get this? And maybe in life you've traveled enough and had a take charge personality that you've already realized that two smaller carry-on wheelie billies can survive back to back quite easily if you just push it. So like that's one thing and that's another. And then there also has to be the desire to protect and take care of and have this one sit in her central feminine soft energy because he wants her to do less. He like, you know, and so there's a lot of things happening there. And he is not going from A to B. He's staying at A. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
He doesn't
Yeah.
want to protect her. He doesn't want to make her feel like he's got it and he's in command. Like that's what it is, I think. I just
Yeah.
can't. I just something trying to think. Like I don't know if my dad would because he's older now, but definitely when I was younger. You know.
You know, having said this, I don't want, you know, if there's a lot of people that are like 50-50, and the 50-50 person would be like, he's got his hands full, so why would she not have her hands full? And I would say, like, yes, of course, you could easily live in that life. Now, is that what it is that the life that Jasmine has talked about, thought about, said she wants, has ever mentioned, or has ever acted towards? Absolutely not. So at some point, someone's got to like get on board.
Um, Anybody who denies what we just said with the 50-50 argument is wrong. You can be 50-50 and have the stronger person in your physically stronger person in the duo carry the bag. So they get into the car and she's like, baby, like, but before she does that, actually, they get into the car and they leave late and they're in traffic and she's mad. And then we realize it's because his tum-tums was hurting. And the reason why his tum-tum was hurting is because he had nachos the day before, which I was just really confused as to why nachos would hurt anybody's stomach. And
Mhm.
then he said it had a lot of beans on it. It was a lot of bean. He called it like bean paste or like bean
He
soup.
called it no, bean dip. Bean dip. Which the bean dip was like Rosary to be like, you know, it's like came in like the cat food can, you know, you'd like pull the thing back. I was like, it's not dip, it's beans. It's probably simmered, refried, or whatever it is. Like beans, it's like I could so many things. Go ahead, Wall. Just
Yeah, being from California, I was offended. And I'm not even Mexican. It's not even my cuisine. I was offended that he kept calling it bean dip like it was some kind of Frito cheesy bean like you get in the like chip aisle. And it's just like, no. And then she says, beans are for a real man, which I was like, damn, she will cut this man down at any moment. And he is just like, real man. He fucking giggles. Okay.
what is okay? So I just want to know that comment meant what? That his tum tum is too weak. That he's not a real man that can handle the gas, or like real men, like you know, take a little like Beano or something. Like I like what like
I don't know. That's never been my like thing. Like I don't know men or people who like eat beans and like have to then, pass gas, which was
mhm.
like a joke. I feel like in the 90s growing up, like, oh, I had beans. And I'm like, that never happens to me. So maybe it's your weird tummy constitution.
Wait, have you ever heard the magical, you know, beans, and magical fruit? The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So eat beans for every meal.
Never heard that. But if I had, it's all in line with the whole thing that beans make you poop. Pooped. And I've never had that in my life.
Okay.
And so he is sitting in the car and she's like, we've got a lot to work on. And he's like, yes, yeah, to work on. As he looks outside the window, like he's not even planning on with that stupid black hat.
Let's get there. Well, you know what's happening next. We are dancing. Okay. We are like don't know what to do. Okay. So God bless. They get to this place, which again is known for its mountains. not its showers, not its waterfalls.
Oh my God. Chris, they get to a romantic room. It's not romantic. It's wood everywhere. There's no romance. Okay. Then she goes into the bathroom and puts on like a pink
I got a
nightie.
picture. I got a picture.
Okay. She goes on and puts on a pink nightie and she's like, and he's like, wow, get out of this. Like I can't, Chris. It's too much. It's too much. And then she's like, I put in my sexy boots for you. Chris, did you get a picture of the boots? Because they were not sexy.
No, but I did get a go, but you can just, no. I didn't get the picture of the boots, but then, so she starts to have different like sex shit that she takes out of plastic bags, like she just bought them, like, because by the way, this entire season has been her talking about sex or getting sex toys the entire time. Like, it's the most vulgar thing. She's like, I don't think she's a real person. I feel like she's like a weird AI sex doll. Anyway, God bless. So she has a ball gag. She puts it in her mouth. She could be happier about the ball gag. I mean, I've never seen anyone happier. Like, sometimes when she was taking this out, I was like, is this for him or is this for her? Like, I couldn't quite tell because I was like, I feel like it'd be for him. Anyway, God bless. Then, they go to bed happily. Well, and the next morning happens.
Oh my God. Sorry, I was on mute. She wakes up and she to me has the cutest little outfit on. I love the headband. I love the cat eye glasses. And she confesses to us that they had the most steamy romantic sex last night. And he allowed her to pee on his chest. And that's what she said on national US American television. I didn't know you could say pee on chest. It was a shocker that was allowed to be said. And she freaking giggles afterwards and has the biggest smile I have ever seen on her. And then they describe how they were in the jacuzzi. And I guess she got up to go to the bathroom and he's like, no, pee on me. And she put a leg up and she peed on him and said that it was so romantic.
Yeah, that was very intense and a lot of information. And it's just so funny because later on in this episode, someone else gets mad at someone else for sharing basic relationship information. Like, and this feels like a crazy invasion. And, Gino, unless Gino tonight or last night went on a, Instagram tangent, having found out that she relayed that information.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't. It was so shocking.
So extra for sure.
So extra. So then the next day they get up and they're feeling they're in their romantic bag. They decide to go horseback riding. And as they're doing it, he goes around to touch the horse and he's like, is the horse going to kick me if I go behind it?
Yes. Sorry. Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but the answer is yes. Oh. You never, ever, ever, ever go behind a horse. Don't ever do it. I mean, and the man tells him this, which is true. Like, if for any reason you always touch the horse in the back so the horse knows where you are, but just don't ever just walk up behind a fucking horse. There's no, I mean, that really just is like begging to be kicked in the fucking face.
That's so wild. I've never heard that because I'm not, a horse person or like a big beast of burden person. So I wouldn't know that. So thanks for, telling the people. But
she loves saying beast of burden. She loves saying it.
Beast of burden. That's what they are. And so then he touches the rump and he's like, I'm here. And like the horse is supposed to feel calm about that. So they get on the horses, they go riding, and there's something else where I don't remember what it was, but Jasmine also says something crazy to him as they're like crossing a small ravine or like a body of water. And they give him some fruit, and this man spits out the fruit like he spits it out because it wasn't chicken nuggets. That's the only thing I can think of.
How it's guava.
Bad? Oh, it was a guava. It's delicious. I don't know. I think guavas are delicious.
Oh, I love guava so much. It's like guava is one of my magical fruits where it's like, I don't get to have it that much, but guava juice could be the yummiest thing in the entire world. Like, there's just some magical fruits in my life. It's one of those. Yeah. I mean, he spits it out in a horrible way. And, yeah, like,
Yeah,
This
guava's
is a
good.
long segment. We have a lot of them. So, because it's like all of this happens, and then, they like kind of are chilling. And then she brings up this piece of information that we talked about last season, right? Like, I knew about this comment from his family member on her Instagram from like what, last season? I feel like
No, it was the beginning of this season.
oh God, so sorry.
Yeah.
Really?
It's been
Okay.
10 weeks. It's been 10 weeks.
You're right. You're right.
You're right.
So basically, yeah, I'm so sorry. Thank you for that. So basically, she brings up the fact that, when we get to America, like, I don't want to spend a lot of time with your family. And he's like, basically a family boy, an Italian family boy who's like being raised by whatever older men that are left in his family, whatever. And so that's just like a non-option. And he's like, well, don't blame everything about my family by that one thing. Because yeah, she brings up the fact that now she says someone named Dana, who I thought was a female, but ends up being, I thought this comment from his cousin Dana, and I swear to God, it read like a 16-year-old daughter niece from his family. Then he's like, well, I think you should talk to Dana, because the comments about like whether she's really into Gino because of love or whatever. And he's like, okay. So then we realize that Dana is another elderly male in his family.
Yeah, like I think Dana's comment was like, Jasmine, do you really love my quote cousin? I mean, my cousin Gino. He puts Gino in quotes. It's like weird. Yeah, it was shocking that Dana was who that was. That was the person whose house we went to, who made the spaghetti. That's that person. So I didn't realize that person's name was Dana. So I thought we were going to get another cousin named Dana. And Jasmine is basically like, I'm going to fight or I'm going to argue if they say anything to me. So they get on the phone call. And at that point, I didn't care anymore. So I don't really recall, besides him saying something like, well, it seems like all the things that you want from Gino are monetary or something. And she's just like,
what would you do if you were dating someone and then you knew that you were going to have a FaceTime with this person and me, and I was going to be hostile toward the person you were dating?
it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just bringing this up because of Violet and Riley.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
like this, like, it's an interesting place to put your beloved. And by the way, each time you're with your person in real life, but you are letting someone in your life be on a screen untouchable, where you have to experience how awkward it is in real life, that person doesn't. It's so, I don't know.
Yes, it's very weird that even for the cameras, it would have to be completely made up for me to allow this to occur. And he's like, I don't want to be in between you and my cousin. And I'm like, you didn't make a choice. Like, I would absolutely leave that relationship. Again, like Violet says, you're not protecting me, and I don't feel protected.
Yeah. And I guess I'll just say, at the end of the day, it also feels like low emotional intelligence, low emotional IQ, again, for the very real and very real and visceral reason at the end of the day, that when that FaceTime ends, that person goes on their merry goddamn business in the life and lead the country that they're in. And then you, in real time, are dealing with the awkward tension afterward, which is, why would you want that life? Why would you choose that for yourself? You're choosing it for yourself, which is, the foresight's wrong. Okay, so
Yeah.
have we gone to a commercial yet, by the way?
No, but speaking of,
What?
let's do it.
Oh,
Commercial.
okay. So, we have two people here. Yay, we're doing that thing.
Doing the thing. All right.
Yeah, you put
EP
this up.
10. It is 1850. We went on commercial.
You guys,
And
I have a great. Oh,
you have grapes? You guys.
Uh-huh.
I have
What?
Prosecco. For our anniversary. I wish that I could ship it to you. Anniversary.
I can go and see if I have a little something.
Yeah. Okay. When do you want to do? You want to do it afterwards, or you want to do it on the live? The other live. The Monday live. Okay, Monday live. Great.
Okay. Sorry, I got verklempt.
Okay. Let's come back. Oh, exactly 1 minute. Let's come back. So at 1950, which is in 6 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, and we're back. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. So let's jump to our next couple in the Amanda and Rosvin were back, and Amanda got the pie in the face that she deserves. I don't like Amanda. Okay.
I know.
Okay. Oh, I haven't made it
What?
clear. I've made it clear.
Oh,
Oh, okay, great.
I just, yeah, you're just so like, I don't like Amanda. Like it just had come to you. Episode 10.
Yeah, you're right. I did say it in episode 1. I said that
Yeah,
I would not be able to watch her. And
first
then
sentence. The first sentence you said.
so we start off with them, and of course they're going to a place that he's showing her his life and his world, and she's like,
Hmm.
"It looks scary," and he's like, "It's old."
Yeah.
She's terrible TV. Whatever
She
producer put her on, now I'm just starting to break down her eye makeup. It's like, how do you get that one the darkest line just to be perfect?
thick.
Is it liquid? What is it?
No, it feels like a pencil. It is, yeah, it's like the thickest thing right here. You know, when you see her without makeup, she really is beautiful. You know, like I think that she's a beautiful girl. You know, like I think that she has like a natural sweetness to her, but she looks
Wait.
through.
Natural look of sweetness?
Yes,
Okay.
but yes, mhm. But her demeanor and everything, she looks through the world with gray colored glasses. You know, like she, you know, can I be honest? It almost reads as mildly depressed or something, in that every choice to be made is, you know, negative, that she complains about everything, you know, like, and Rasmus is doing his best at this restaurant to be as charming and personable as possible. You know, like recounting what things are, what their names are. He is just like making. He's not okay. Can I be honest? He's fine. He's not hilarious, but of course, to her who is miserable, like him, you know, like literally reading a menu is like he makes me laugh. Just,
Yes. Also, here's the reason why she is miserable.
mhm,
Because she just lost her fucking husband, and she should stay her ass home and get over this like traumatic thing that's just happened in her fucking life. Like,
I can see that.
that is that is what it is. And we are watching somebody put themselves through this and then tell us on social media in real time that everybody, doesn't know, there's no guidebook on how to be a widow, and she's, doesn't feel like she should stop herself from finding love. But we're like, baby, heal first. No one says that you should that you shouldn't pursue love. Also, no one said that there was a book on how to be a widow. But the one thing that makes the most sense is to possibly get healthy and feel good within your body before you go jumping into, Hungarian. Where's he from? I don't know. That wherever he's from, Romanian men's fucking lives. And the names of those dishes, that was such a cute thing to call out, because it is kind of interesting, right? We don't have that here.
Yeah, it is, so the next part is a great part, because it's interesting, because it feels like her power dynamic is that she has to be catered to in every moment, and she's there for 3 weeks, and everything that she wants is happening, and everything doesn't happen for her is she has to make sure is right for her kids, but it's also her. But I like the idea of her having to meet people in his life and then seeing if she's going to acquiesce, like any sort of like, whether she has to like be something for them or be better than she is or whatever. So we get a taste of that in this episode in real time, but also the promise of that in the scene that she's going to go meet his mom and his family, which, like is what, like there's, how do you meet someone you like's mom and then not try and be a better version of yourself? More
Exactly.
polite, more respectful. Like, would, like, am I going to see her try and be better? I can't. Wow.
No, you're not, because she's in her own world. And like, if something is uncomfortable for her, she doesn't have her ex to like lean into. Like, she really is just trying to like find somebody to take up the energy of Jason. And she's trying to do that to Rosvin, and Rosvin's not fitting the bill. And so she's like on defense, like, you need to prove to me that this is the right place and you're the right person for me and my kids. And that's not what he was expecting to have to do. So let me tell you, they get to this pool party,
Yeah.
and this bodied bitch comes up to them just looking fine as fuck. I mean, she is obviously a woman that's comfortable with her body, and Amanda's not. She is a woman who is going to come to a pool party just basically the bottom of her bathing suit is cute, but it is like a piece of thick fabric and then some thin fabric on the side. It is holding on by a prayer. It is barely there. It is leaves nothing up to the imagination. I mean, and it's hot. She's cute. I love it. I love every moment of it.
Ah, no, this look isn't for me. And no, no, thanks. Now, having said that, I'm not talking about her body. I'm just talking about the actual whole look. I mean, the whole take everything in. No. But good for her, not for me. But I like also one part. Yeah, this girl obviously had a conversation with Razvan where we were already like, does she like Razvan? And then we're gonna get into whether she is just on Razvan's side or whether she just picks up on the fact that Amanda is absolutely insufferable and miserable, like immediately and like immediately just starts to hate her, which could easily be that. But can I just want to talk about one thing? At the restaurant, Razvan lets her, tells her that he's always wanted to go to America. And she is like taken aback by this. And like, I didn't know that. And she didn't know that. But he's been incredibly upfront in first episode that his whole thing is that he wants to be an actor, he wants to be an influencer and or a model, some sort of actor influencer model, like that's his dream or whatever. And I don't understand if that whole time she thought only in his one city. Because like to me it's like if someone wants to be an actor, odds are that they wouldn't mind going to the epicenter of where someone actually can make a career of that.
Yeah. I mean, he could go to England, but he doesn't. He wants to go to America. And I think it's just so stupid that she's like, "Well, I don't want you to be using me." Like you're the one who slid into his DMs or into his live.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a person who has painstakingly learned the dumbest language of English, which has just so many ups and downs. And like, how are you to know the way things happen? Like English is a hard language to learn. So anybody to me that feels like learns that either wants to go someplace where there's they can speak English. Now he has a
Mm-hmm.
homegirl who's speaking English too. So maybe it's like a thing that him and his homies did. They were like, let's learn English. And then they all just like learned it. But it just seems like I don't want her. You know what? I don't have anything nice to say about her.
Okay, yeah. Like basically, Razvan's friend catches her making eye contact with him that isn't like warm and loving. And she's pissed about it. So she pulls Anna aside and sort of starts to like sort of grill her. And Anna doesn't give an F because she is like, I mean, she has no, yeah, she doesn't feel like I don't know. It's just like, it's so interesting. It's a study in someone who doesn't feel like they have to change or who they are and or acquiesce. This is someone who I guess is just feels like they're in the power position and always right at all time. This person is incredibly confident in that way. It's actually somewhat remarkable. I'm going to learn a lesson about it, like, but basically, yeah.
Yeah. Amanda is, I think she's a small town girl who has just been raised in an insular community where she's right, or like, I don't know. Like, I just think that she, especially now that she's on foreign land, she thinks everything is stupid and old and ugly. She's just one of those Americans.
Yeah.
I think.
It's interesting because it is a whole ass thing for this girl to be like, I think that your relationship's toxic and she just met them. So there's a whole other part of Amanda that I'm like, but she's not strong enough to be like, oh, you got that from the 2 seconds we've been together? Well, thank you for your opinion. Didn't quite ask for it. Or you can just give it to Razvan, who's your friend. Nice to meet you.
But Anna's right. No?
Here's the thing. There is, okay, so let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. What is right and what is your place to give, like in someone's face, your opinion of their relationship when they didn't ask for it?
You know what? I think that I would if that person were my friend. Razvan is my friend, and I have known him for I don't know how long. Mm-hmm. And he decides to bring this person over, mm-hmm. and this person comes to my house or my pool party, mm-hmm. and he does something that she doesn't like, and she just stares at him and is like looking at him as opposed to just being like, babe, you shouldn't have said that. I'm embarrassed. But she like looks at him and it's just like, like, why'd you say that? I can't believe he said, I'm like, girl, he said it to another girl. Like, I get it. I don't want everyone to know. No, I don't care if people know I'm period. But I get how that can be like a, but I just Rosman has to have been texting his friend for the last week, telling her things. And I think that I would do that. I think that I would do that. I think that I would make you uncomfortable if you brought someone that I didn't like around, or if you brought someone around and they did something I didn't like. I think that you would be mad at me because I would say something to him. But now I know not to do that, so it's good to know.
There's just a time and a place, like, or not time and a place. It's like she just met that person. It's just the audacity to like, I don't
Okay.
know, like there's just that. It's hard to tell someone how to live in this day and age, and it's hard to like give your opinion in real time to someone as if what your whole life is perfect and you can like give an opinion and like it's like speck of sawdust in your brother eye. There's all of that involved in that too. Now having said that,
Okay, I see your point of view.
anyway, but at the same time, we just got done saying how awkward it is that these people have FaceTimes with someone. I wonder if Razvan knew that this girl might lay into Amanda in some way. And because Amanda, after this, is upset. Like she wakes up the next morning. The next morning is like him asking if she wants coffee and her like in her, naked face moment, right? Where she says that she's still upset. So like she doesn't it doesn't seem that she has a conversation with Rasmus like, hey, your like, yellow bikini biddy just told me that she thinks our relationship is toxic, which would have been a great conversation for the cameras to pick up, especially if it happened at the party.
Yep.
That's some Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Bravo shit. I mean, come on.
Also, why didn't she just put on the bathing suit and like just sit and put her feet in the pool? I don't just a lot. I don't like Amanda. Okay, there's that.
Wait, you don't like Amanda?
No. I don't.
You?
I know.
Amanda?
Nah. I just don't like her. Okay.
She's still your type.
Let's move on to she's my type. We don't have a picture of Statler and Dempsey, but anyway, Statler and Dempsey. This was stupid. The only thing is that I wanted to taste the fish and chips. So Dempsey wakes up and she has to get into a cold shower, and she is screaming the whole time, I guess for comedic relief. Because it's not like we can't tell that she's cold and uncomfortable, but it makes Dempsey laugh.
Yes.
And then there's a moment where Dempsey is getting her feet rubbed with a cute pedicure, which I was like here for. Did she do it herself or did she go to get it done? Anyways, so
great question.
Yeah. So she is getting a foot massage and she's like, I have to go to work. And Statler's like, okay. And then she goes, it's Valentine's Day, and Statler sets up this scavenger hunt. And we're like, how do you even know the grounds to do this? Like, how did you plan this in your head? Like, this is great. You're good at that, because I couldn't. Chris?
I think it's so cute. This part is cute. Like later on, Dempsey's going to say a couple of things that makes me like, oh shit, she knows she has Statler's number. Statler just wants to be loved. She jumps relationship to relationship. She just really wants to be loved. She opens this saying that, she sees me and gets me. Which the fact that she said that there must be such a thing that she wants, which I get. I was gonna say, I don't eat fish, so I don't want the fish and chips, but I will take that chia seed smoothie that she makes her right out of the cold shower. Dempsey is so adorable and so lovely, and we also get a little bit of Dempsey's backstory, which is her back love story, which is that her last relationship did not end well, and she just like didn't take care of herself, and it sort of like broke her down, and her dad was really worried about her, and thusly is like super cautious of her love life since. Which also wonders how Thailand was when she was trying to talk to Statler, but her dad was there. And then she also lets her know that because of that, that it's very important that her dad, likes Statler. And she has not told her dad that she's dating Statler. And that if that Statler and her dad don't get along, it's grounds for Statler not to be in her life. And Statler is like, I did not understand that, did not know that, or whatever. And like half of me is like, no, okay, well, first of all, I feel like I just met you. So like by now, wouldn't you know if I wasn't close enough with my family that like me not having their approval or seeing them would be important in my life. Like, I just met you. Like, obviously, if my family hates you and I like my family, the first person's gonna go is you. Like you just got here.
I was just going to ask you that. What if there was somebody that you were in love with and your family was like, no, would you?
I trust them.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah,
you.
like not just one, but all of them. Sure.
Okay. What about the two? What if the two most important people?
Then yes.
Okay.
If the people combined with an M name
Yes. Yes. That's what I was going
told
to
me
say.
no,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
exactly.
Because,
I would
yeah.
trust them.
Okay. Great. I'm like, if the other person who shares the same letter as me, if that person were to be like, nah, then I would have to as well.
Good, because that person is right. That person, I would trust that person too. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, just Statler is kind of says I love you by saying to be in love in the cab, and Dempsey ignored it as she should have because that's stupid. And then they get to the seaside, and she has a talk with the dad, Statler does, and she's like, yeah, I want to move in, and like we're in love, and blah blah blah, after she's already just told this man, yeah, I came here before. This man, she looked at this man and his grizzled work has worked with his hands face, and said in the sun, yeah, I want to move here and be with your daughter if things work out. And he's like, didn't you do this already with some other Brit in the past? I don't think that this is red flags. This is not good. And we all agree.
He looks just like Dempsey. I mean, I should say Dempsey looks just like him. Dempsey stole that face.
Oh yeah, she did.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at the cheeks. Look at the eyes.
Yeah.
Look at the nose.
Yeah, she looks like her dad.
Oh yeah.
Cute. Dempsey was dressed really cute. She was wearing like a cable knit sweater with a leather black dress. I thought it was cute.
Yeah. The dad gets it. The dad is like, why the hell are you jumping in? Like, the truth of the matter is, it never really makes sense to rush a relationship. Like, especially if the people are young. Especially if the people are young. Because there's no reason to like not make the genuine connection that happens over time and experience, because the risk of just jumping in and pretending that something is something without truly being grounded in it to like differentiate reality and what your dream of a relationship is, that's what happens, I feel like. Okay, I know you're looking at me. This is what it is. When you rush a relationship, especially if you're someone who romances or wants love or monkeys from relationship to relationship, then the new relationship that you jump into, especially if it's a living situation, you cannot quite differentiate in real time what's your perception of the relationship based upon your own wants and needs and drama, and what is actually there, because it's hard to disconnect from it. You know what I'm saying?
I think yes, I agree with you if this is a person who's jumped from relationship to relationship. Me, however, I have really good like vision for the future, and like I feel like when I like to jump into things that I have already weighed the pros and cons. I have already thought like, what's the worst that could happen? And then been like, okay, So yeah, I do agree with you if you're somebody who just like wants love frenetically and like will, move about the space trying to get it. But I think there are some people who, and you're right, I think the younger you are, maybe you should wait. But also when you're like my age, like I can do it, whatever.
Yeah, rules are meant to be broken as well. So, but yeah,
I don't have any money for you to steal. I mean, I do, but like I'll hide it.
Honey, that posting up. So
yeah, come on. The post, wait a minute, you can't have access to any of my money. Conversation is going to happen. So if they're like, then I'm like, okay, I'm out. Bye.
You gotta put in an LLC, honey. Put it in an LLC. Put in a trust.
That's what I'm saying. She has to hide it. You can't have it. You're not on the living trust.
Oh wait, I want to know something. This is so funny. why the hell did Statler tell Dempsey's dad that he smelled good? Was that her way of like just trying to like quickly get it in? What did he smell good? What does he smell like? You know, like is it to me it's like Old Spice.
Oh yeah, it is. But also like I love the way the producers cut it to where he just was like, okay. And
Yeah.
then like as though it didn't matter. But then two, I tell people when they smell good all the time.
Oh, I do too. But I don't usually tell men they smell good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I think I have. Oh, I love your cologne. Like I would say something like that.
Oh, I love your cologne. Yeah, I like it the
Yeah.
way like that. But you're right. Yeah,
I would say that if like an uncle of yours were to hug me and I'm like, oh, love that cologne.
yeah, but you wouldn't be like, you smell good. Why? Why you wouldn't? You know, like
you're right. You smell good.
you can't even. Yeah, don't even just say the exact words, but try not to do it sexually. Just even the words itself aren't a good choice of words.
You smell good. No, I wouldn't say that. That's not my. I wouldn't say.
You smell good.
To me, you
smell
smell
good.
It smells is when I'm like things are bad. But I would say I love their cologne. I would say that. You're right. You're right. I don't say it smell good. All right. Anything else about them?
No.
Welcome to Modesto, California, where Tyree lives. And it has been a month since he found out that the love of his life was a man named Christian catfishing as a woman named Carmela. And I just like, why do you keep saying love of your life? One, like, stop saying it. The person doesn't exist. There's no love of your life. And then two, we really get a vulnerable side of Tyree in this, to where before I thought producers were taking advantage of him, but I'm like, no, he's an adult. But at the same time, he is an adult with deep-seated insecurities. And sometimes it's like awkward when people start telling me that they think of themselves as a loser, or like they think of themselves like nobody wants this like loser guy who fell in love with somebody. You know, he said that and I was like, oh, baby, I get it, but also I don't want to watch it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. That's hard. I get that. We in the month he's gone shopping. Okay. That's one thing that's happened. He has some brand new clothes, honey. He been shopping, you know what I'm saying? Like new luggage, you know, like new jeans, you know, it's like a new sweatshirt, you know, like set, you know, like he's got his hair done, you know, like his mom comes in right when he's packing what looks like a lot of Pringles. Like at one point, he's packing clothes, my love, and then, you know, one bag is just like a bunch of chips, as if, you know, chips can't be had in other places, you know, like
I did not see that at all.
I did, you know, like yeah, it's interesting, you know, like it's yeah. Anyway, food is a hard fucking drug. It really is. Food is a hard drug because you will forever, for the rest of your life, use it every day.
Yes, you need it. And then it's so delicious in your mouth. And then it got you through so much hard times in the 90s. Food was there when people were not.
In the 90s specific. Are we talking, this is you now, right?
This is me. Yeah, specifically me. This is me. Like I literally was like going to people's houses like, yeah. What do you got in your refrigerator? I'm hungry. Anyways.
I love you. I love that. So funny. And if you came to my house in the 90s, this is what you would get.
Snacks.
String cheese.
Oh so
yeah.
Much.
Yeah. Well, I usually still have string cheese.
Mm-hmm.
String cheese, handy snacks. Handy snacks was no need for refrigeration. You roll it back, you know, plastic, and this side had the crackers, and the crackers were either the flat ones or mini breadsticks. If it's a flat one, it's going to have a little red stick that sits on top. And the other side is, again, no refrigeration needed.
Poison
that you would just like,
and you would just take your time, just like spreading it on. They put us through so much. Now kids have like squeezy applesauce that just like comes out when you squeeze it, or it could be any kind of like fruit in a little pouch. And we had to like go find a spoon. You know what I mean? Like We
Where it
had
was
like
so
dipping
rude.
we
It
had
was
like
so
that candy
rude.
that had that dip, that like stick, and you would put it in there, and then
Dunkaroos?
no, it was like powder
I'm
in
learning how to choose the right audio apps for you.
I'm
Which
sorry,
one
who?
do you want to use to listen to this?
Okay, well, I think you're talking about
Did you hear
is it
that?
dumb yeah, oh, of course. Like a sugar stick, dumb stick, fast
Yes.
stick. It's like a it's not dumb stick. It's
It's
like
something. Yeah. I know. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. We just had so much shenanigans, but these children now. But back to Tyree. He ironed his sweater, and I didn't understand what was happening. That was a thick sweater. I think you just either like steam that or you put it in the dryer for a little bit. So you just like walk down and put it in the dryer, but you don't iron. I mean, you can. I've just never seen it. You?
no. It's just no. It just again, like I think about all like the broken Pringles that are going to be at the end of that suitcase. Like that part crazy. The mom's there. The mom comes in. The sisters are there. The mom and the sisters like talk. Like they're all on the same. It feels like those sisters were like, oh, holy shit, we got to get back to like bro and mom. Like there's a whole ass camera crew here, and like we got to get things up to snuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so interesting when they have Tyree in his confessionals. They have the background of like a apartment that's obviously not his. It's kind of like this modern 60s looking vibe apartment. And I just wondered like did they just be like, man, I pick an apartment background for this guy? I mean, yeah, because it's definitely not where he lives. Just
I
side
feel
note.
like they do all of that when they, especially when they're in like the northern African countries or in Middle East. They always
Mhm.
put like a background that mimics what their country might look like.
You know what? Maybe I just have never noticed it now. But this part gets a little confusing. So it's been confusing. He tells us this that he has been still messaging who he thought was Camilla, right? But that person still ghosted him. But then he also reached out to the person that's actually in the photos and then was like, hey, I was catfished for years by a person using your pictures, and the real person was like, "Oh, so sorry to hear that." And that he then started a conversation with that person and now is going to go meet that person that is also happens to live there.
Yeah, producers had something. They went to Denver. Like the person lives in Denver, so he flew from Modesto to Denver, took his snacks with him because there was no Pringles in Denver, and then he like meets this person at a place that he chose. She didn't even choose a place in her own area, and this is all like producer led, producer set up. Like obviously the producers were talking to her and getting her to agree to this, and because we've seen pictures of her all over this show, so I knew that at some point she gave her permission, and those producers are really good at convincing people to do stuff. So like, hey, they're gonna act like your friend. Do you want to come and meet him? I mean, you don't have to. Just want to let you know that the opportunity is there. It's not pay, but we'll put your name on the screen and we'll like, it's whatever. We'll help you with your business. And so she probably is getting all kinds of hit now. Could you imagine all the 90-day weirdos who are like calling up 1-800 Carmela?
Oh, of course. Yeah, her business. I mean, yeah. But
Yeah.
she should live in Nevada.
Yeah, she should. So he thinks that, he's like, I don't want her to think that I'm some kind of loser. But I'm also like kind of thinking that she's gonna be like, look at this loser. Let me help him. Like he's still fantasizing that Carmela, the real Carmela in Denver, is gonna help him. Then he's like, oh well, I'm really grateful that she like wanted to see me, so I'm gonna get her a gift. They go to get a gift, and this man's like, "Oh yeah, the necklace looks good." And his sisters are like, "Absolutely not. You're gonna give the wrong idea." And he's like, "Really? I think you guys are thinking too much into it." And then in his confessionals, he's like, "Yeah, I didn't want Carmela to get the wrong idea, so I just got her a candle." And we're just like, even a candle's dumb. You don't know if she likes that smell. Don't get her anything.
Yeah. Yeah, like, absolutely. And or if you want to give her something, get her something after you meet her as a thank you gesture, after you can ascertain one bit of information about her. You
Yeah.
know, it is always so interesting when someone who is so obviously blatantly ignorant over a subject argues when someone who obviously knows more about that subject gives them a bit of advice. Like those sisters who, what?
Me, that's me too. I will
Wow.
argue about things I don't know anything about.
Yeah, to me it's like there's two, I guess in my mind I was talking about two people, Nicola and Tyree,
Oh,
who
yes,
are
true.
two men who so obviously in their own mouth and tongue will tell you they don't know so much about the women. Don't know so much about the women. And yet I guess these are small moments where you're like some woman is telling you like what's up and you're like, "Nah." You're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, come on." Okay. That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah, I know you're right. That is very true. So we get a cliffhanger with Tyree, obviously. Next
Oh yeah,
couple.
wait. Can we tell? It is the sharp, tried and true cliffhanger. It's
Yeah.
the person at a restaurant looking at the door, waiting for the door to open because he's sitting alone at the table and time is a ticking and maybe there's a server that has looked over at you and asked you what you wanted. And if for in Tyree's, they even showed a time lapse because either this person is very thirsty and a 7-Up, either a 7-Up came and this person was like blink gone, or a 7-Up came and this person took 5 to 15 minutes drinking it and Camilla hasn't shown that time, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was early and that's his fault. He should have been late. One, two. Um, she also like walks in, if it is her, in like a sweatsuit, like a tracksuit, and I was just really disappointed. I wanted to see short skirt, legs, heels, and then like maybe the tips of her blonde wig.
Yeah, this person that walks in, I'm just going to go ahead and just throw out some body judgments right away, okay? Bigger, androgynous, leaning towards mask vibes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just what there's no head, but from the body, bigger and androgynous leaning toward mask vibes is how
Yeah.
I would describe what I saw.
Or maybe she was
Okay.
like, I don't want this guy to like me, so I'm just gonna wear a bag. Like she doesn't want him to like her at all. So she's like, take me as I am. You already love me.
Let me also say this, I said bigger, but not in comparison to Tyrone. That'd be smaller.
Who's Tyrone? Tyree?
Tyree.
Hmm.
Sorry.
Uh,
Tyrone. Sorry. I just got the phone with Tyrone. Call him.
yeah,
I know. I know. Sorry. But basically, sorry. You know who won't call? You know who won't call Tyrone or anything? Camilla. Okay,
Oh
like
my
it's obviously
gosh.
not the person in the pictures. Do you want to move on to what does the candle smell like? I think it smells like Pringles. Okay,
No,
I
I
think
think
it
it smells like vanilla nonsense. It's
yeah,
gonna
right.
upset me.
Chloe and Christian.
I kept calling her. It's Cleo. I wrote Chloe. It's
God
Cleo.
damn it.
It's like Cleopatra. That's my fault.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry. You guys, it's episode 10. Do you guys know those people's names? And I'd be like, I'm sorry. Do I? Maybe.
yeah. So, they had sex, or what she considers sex. What do you consider sex? Because I had a conversation with a friend of mine in like maybe post college or later college, and he was like, sex is any like he considered like oral sex.
Yeah, it's a very interesting conversation because because of my generationalness, I tend to equate sex to I mean not equate sex, it's like my own idea of the definition of sex was taught to me in the 90s, which was a, patriarchal, heterosexual, cisgender definition of sex, which is that a penis enters a vagina. A penis enters a vagina. That's it. Once, that's enough. One little bit, yep. Does it come? I don't know. If this person, this is what I guess if you asked Chrissy Farah in age 15, a penis enters a vagina.
I think of a penis entering a non-mouth hole, which then doesn't speak to what our lesbian sisters are doing.
Yep.
And so when my friend told me that, and he was like, so then what do you lesbians do? I was like, oh,
Mhm.
so oral sex between two people, no matter whatever their gender or how they feel, is sex. Now, Chloe thought it was good and that it was, whatever, which is like, I hope she's not like, most women who just because you were like bumping nasties, it was good, when the truth is like, if you don't get there, it's not good. So anyway, so She then
Mm-hmm,
tells her good Judy, who's like Polish or something, and everything is good. And then we cut to him, and he tells producers that he got to second base, not home run, which basically means that there was like touching of the breasts and making out. That's what
Yes.
second base is to me.
Yes.
Okay. And so there was touching of body and kissing. And so then he was like, I told her that like I like girls to go first, but I just did it. I just bit the bullet and did it. And I was like, yeah, because you're laying next to somebody that you're fucking attracted to and that you like, and it was dark. And you were like, I want to touch kisses. I want to touch the booty.
Yep.
And so then he does damage control, which I don't know if producers would have told on him, but they might have. And so he decides to get on top of that and just let her know what he said, because he knows what he said was misleading. And she gets upset, doesn't go to her lecture, calls him, and is like, what are you saying? And then he's like, I don't think that we should tell people the details because, again, I'm worried about what my family will think. And she's upset naturally. Chris?
It's so interesting because, this is a show about relationships progressing. And so whether someone is intimate and or has chemistry and or is kissed, is like kind of natural things. And so I have to assume that Christian had to assume that these questions would happen. And it felt like Christian was little like why did Christian get on the show? He feels very self-conscious, which I'm not saying he shouldn't, but at the same time, if he is that, it's like I mean saying if he's feeling that, I guess it's a valid feeling, but like he's on a whole ass show, like, and he continued it, when and he's making decisions like he is ashamed to do and be what he wants to do and be. And it's like and that those weird decisions are affecting someone that he should be caring about.
Yes, Chris. He is unarguably one of the most watched shows in America.
Yep.
And so it is crazy that we've heard rumors that producers make people feel guilty, like they have to do stuff, but I'm sure it's a whole process. He had to write a whole essay about why he should be on 90 Day Fiancé, and whatever. And so he went ahead, and then he just got cold feet and is now hurting the one person who he supposedly loves. And she then does the thing which feels like kind of petty a little bit. She brings her friend back to the apartment to have a conversation with him. And so the friend has to like sit there and like watch the whole thing go down. It feels like she just like brought her like service friend, like the person that's going to just make her the most comfortable, which I guess is good. But if I were Christian, I'd feel a little overwhelmed with that.
I agree. I also, I want her to have a little more boundary wherewithal to be like, I have tried, but you have made me feel really uncomfortable this entire time. I, toggle between you either not being attracted to me or me understanding how truly attracted you are and how confused and or scared you are. At the same time, I can't deal with it. It feels like you have a lot to deal with on your own. Please just go home and, figure out what you want and, let me do me. But this is very confusing. I feel like you've sent me mixed messages and maybe you have like a slight alcohol problem. All of it. I'm gonna get back to like leading a fabulous life and having cute beige clothes
and cats. So yeah. All right, let's get to Nicola and Misha. Wow. Misha, what is it you want from me, Misha? I'll do whatever you want, Misha. Okay, Misha? Yeah. What is it you need, Misha?
Yeah. This picks up with her waking up in the morning and she has on, I have this set, by the way. This is I got it from Nordstrom. I think like Michelle got it from Nordstrom. It's like a little like pajama set. I'm wearing like a somewhat small version or a different version of it. This is from Target though. It's like what, it has a little border and it has like a little like short set. Now you can't see it very well in here, but this is something that also made me crazy. Okay. this has nothing to do with what happened in the show, but she's also wearing a bra that I can tell is one of those bras that's a sexy, yes, it's a very sexy bra that is a haltery bra that goes from your middle and the side and connects like right here. So it's almost like a bondage looking bra. Like I know that look because I have tried it before and my boobs are too big, and so inevitably the straps sit like they don't look good. So in her like whatever her Nordstrom modest pajama suit that she's sleeping in a room with her virgin boyfriend, she is wearing the kind of bra that is the antithesis of something that you could A, wear underneath something, and or B, is comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's such a specific thing. Anyway, well, we
Yeah,
can talk about
I
it.
didn't know that. I don't know what you're describing, but I know that there's bras that just has that extra bit of like thing to it. But like I was like, she said, if my bra is going to be showing, it's going to be cute, and I was here for it. I love that her hair is always ready, and she's like, I need coffee, Nico. So she goes downstairs and she can't find any coffee, and then we see her walk on the patio because she just needs space, and she has a shot glass or a shot cup, disposable shot cup that I guess has the strongest coffee that you have ever had. Now, I've had coffee in like a little like something, but never that small. So she sits down and she's just kind of like thinking about how things weren't good. The conversation wasn't good with him the last time because he made her feel uncomfortable, like he wasn't in this. And he then finds her and he's like, Misha, why you said you'd go and get coffee and you don't come back? And she's like, and he's like, why, you upset? You mad? And so she's just like, I think that we are not on the same page. And he's like, Misha, tell me what you want me to do. And then he's like, God, bring us together. And you can see it in her face that she's like, yeah, God. Okay, God, great. We've established that you and I love the Lord. But if you can't keep bringing up God when we're trying to have a conversation about how you make me feel and our feelings, but he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. And while he's talking, a church bell rings and he's like, see, Misha, it's sign from God. Misha, church bell ring, which means I'm telling the truth. And we're just like, is that like a superstition or not a superstition? Is that like a saying in Israel? If you say something and the, if you say something at 8:30, then there's going to be a bell ringing or whatever. How often does the bell ring? Every hour, every half hour? You might be able to clock when the bell's going to ring so you can say, see, it's truth. So yeah, I think she's starting to realize that she cannot live her life with somebody who's so emotionally immature and that she's not the one who's going to help him get there because it's going to be a long and painful road. Also, I think culturally, and he brought this up kind of, that's the problem that they're having. Maybe he's used to, maybe just the way women and men interact and where he's used to seeing is like, they're just who they are, and you just try to find somewhere in the middle where you kind of work, right? Whereas a Western idea of marriage is like you're so in love and you're meant to be this like duo that like moves through the space together, which I don't really subscribe to. I understand Misha's part of it. I mean, Nico's side of that. But with that, I think you do lack the intimacy, or you can lack, I don't know, you can end up lacking the intimacy that you would otherwise or may have if you are more in love with each other than not.
I understand. Yeah, I agree with you. And yeah, it's just so funny that he really tries to just not have the whole conversation by being, look, just Misha, what can I do to just make it better? I'll do whatever it is. And then he tries to butter up and be like, I just love you so much. You're so beautiful. Which, oh my God, her skin just looks like she's in a filter all the time. I mean, there's not one pore. It's unbelievable. I just like have never seen skin like that. And then I found the bra. So this is the kind of bra. Well, this is the kind of bra she's wearing, where she's wearing it where there's like straps that go up both sides of her boobie. And it's like just something that is sexy as hell and can't be for the Lord. It's just like, it is the very definition of worldly, which, listen, she's a worldly girl. Me. Also Misha. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a material girl and so is Misha. So basically, Yeah, Nicola has to understand that he was very sweet in the texts and words that he would write to Misha, and then in real life, the things coming out of his mouth aren't the same words, and so she is confused, and he has to, oh, I must be actually sweet and nice and kind and gentle speaking to women, which again, we're all learning.
Yeah, we all are learning, and it's a huge curve for Misha. And this is just the truth. You cannot get with a 46-year-old version. You just can't. You can't do it. People are stuck in their ways, especially if you're in a place where your mother is still doting on you as a grown-ass man. Like, I get it. People live with their parents, and I'm not saying that that's wrong or you should be ashamed of yourself, but there is a certain amount of not growing up that I think happens when you don't have to wash your own dishes.
You know what's interesting? There's got to be a lot of other 40-year-old versions that are like, there's got to be a lot of other like people just like him. He's got to like get on the website and just get the ones that are a little more like on the same experience level.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I don't have anything else to say about them. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I don't have anything else to say except that I was surprised that Misha, I feel like Misha was going to be leaving, and I kind of keep waiting for her to leave.
Yeah.
But I just, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably like at least 2 to 3 more episodes, or if they really want to hate us, they do 6 more episodes. Like, could you imagine 6 more weeks?
I know, but I wish that when the church bell rang, what if she was like, "Oh, Saved by the Bell. Actually, that's God telling me I got to go. There's my ride." Like I wish that she. I don't know. That'd be the true miracle.
It's all right because she's saved by the bell.
Yes,
by the time I get my books and I'll get myself a look, I'm at the corner just in time to
see
bus fly by. Or let's make it up. I'm at the corner just in time to say
Misha,
Nico bye.
Yeah, you're right. How about that? It's all right because I'm saved by the Lord. No, it's all right because I'm saved by the Lord. No, it's all right because I'm saved by the Lord. No, Nicola, it's Belle.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us for this hour and 6 minutes. If you guys would like to join us on Patreon, you could do so at patreon.com/DocuSweeties. It's $10 a month. You're helping your girls out to be able to pay those various people who are helping us do social medias and editing. So shout out to those folks, Gabby and Jean Marie. But if you can't do that and you would like to follow us on other free social medias, you could do so, and Chris will tell you how.
Yeah, we exist on social medias, like Wa said. And the ones that I guess are happening right now are Instagram. Have you heard of it? Owned by this thing called Meta. It's at DocuSweeties on Instagram, at DocuSweeties on TikTok, and at DocuSweeties1 on X, which is now Twitter. And guess what?
What?
Premiere time. New social media alert. Guess who has a new Facebook group?
Oh, yeah. We have a Facebook group.
She did it. We have a Facebook group. So DocuSweeties podcast Facebook group is brand new. There's no one in it, not even Wa yet, because she doesn't care enough about us.
No, I'm just
kidding. Oh, you are?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love you so much. I'm just being a bitch, but I was wrong. But also, yeah, that exists. So I'm so excited, and we've been together a year. So about time for a Facebook group. How about that? But we're so pumped to have you guys, and thank you so much for listening. And yeah, did you say the Patreon yet, babe?
I did. And so we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Bye.